Joining me to start off this discussion of home ownership, how good it is, how bad it is Jim Gallagher, real estate and personal finance reporter for St. Louis Post-Dispatch. We've been talking about a recovery. It's not the worst case scenario anymore. The recession we're coming out of that. The housing bubble has burst and it's expanding a little bit again now. But there's got to be a good news, bad news aspect to this. We're not back yet, right?
Well, if you are a home seller, the good news is that sales are coming back. People are buying homes again. In St. Louis County, for instance, sales are up 8% last year. That was despite a rise in mortgage rates. The previous year, they were up 12%. Prices are a mixed bag. If you look at CoreLogic, which is a real estate data firm, they say that prices last year rose in the metro area about 5%. If you look at Zillow, which is another number crunching outfit, didn't rise at all. If you look at the third survey, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, somewhere in between. So those sales are coming back. Prices are a mixed bag.
But not everywhere sales.
No, not everywhere. They vary by. St. Charles has always been our sales leader, and it still is.
What should we be looking at? Let's talk the good news, the bad news.
Okay.
But what are things out there that are significant, worrisome, something that you're kind of keeping an eye on?
Well, I'll give you two worries. Number one is the absence of first-time home buyers. Traditionally, they make up about 40% of the market. These are the young people moving into their first houses. Now they're down to about 26% of the market. Nobody knows where they've gone. We don't know whether they're scared by interest rates, whether they're frightened by the fall in home prices and simply don't want to buy again, or maybe they'll come back this year. We just don't know.
Yeah, and that's really the long-term look, and we're going to be talking about a lot of those things. But the homeowners who are selling and buying, they're already. Are we talking about people who are already in the market, who are now back in the market?
Well, we think they are. You know, certainly a lot of people who went through foreclosures are in no position to still buy. The market itself is coming back and stronger than it was. The problems you're facing are higher mortgage rates. The perhaps 1% rise in mortgage rates over the last year has made affordability down about 12%. Where they are now, you can buy 12% less house perhaps than you could have a year ago, and that will restrain the market. One real problem in the market is a lack of sellers, which is really surprising.
Are they waiting for the prices to keep going back up? Is that?
Well, you got two problems there. Some of them are waiting for prices to go back up, but you have 25% of people with mortgages who are still underwater. They owe more than the house is worth. Therefore, they can't sell, and they're not in the market. Another problem you have is the banks still are reluctant to lend to home builders. So if the banks won't lend, the builders can't build, therefore you have less inventory.
Big picture, I keep reading that the real estate market, the housing market, not new home construction necessarily, but the housing market, real estate market, a big indicator of the overall economy. Is that true?
It traditionally is. So you have a slow recovery in price, you have a slow recovery in sales, you have a slow growing economy.
We got a lot of experts here, but I wanted to ask you this: were a lot of the home sales that helped that show a recovery, people buying homes and turning them into rental property?
Yes. Well, that gets you into the foreclosure crisis, which, thank heavens, is easing. Right now, there's only about 1% of houses in the metro area that are in foreclosure. It was double and triple that a few years ago. So these houses being moved, being foreclosed on, sold by banks to investors, to landlords, that is declining. And we're hoping that will open up more opportunity for first-time buyers.
Yeah, we want to